joining us to talk NHL coming off Frozen Frenzy is a member of hockey's first family, our good friend Rich Sutter. Richie, I got to start here. The Calgary Flames are off to their best start in franchise history. Tell me, did you see this coming?
Honestly, no, but pleasantly surprised and happy for the group. Look, they worked hard. They're playing together as units. They're getting timely goals. They're getting timely saves. They're scoring power play goals, and they're doing the right things. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder, and it is a really fascinating thing that when a group can garner some confidence that they seem to be getting and growing with, it's going to say a lot for how they're going to do moving forward, because I really think that you try and tell the Calgary Flames that they don't think they're a team that can surprise some people and push for a playoff spot. They won't accept that one bit.
I bet, and that's great. But what do you feel about the report that they're looking to augment down the middle? I'm like, you're committed to a rebuild. I'm thinking stay on the plan. What do you think about these reports?
I do agree with that, Rob. I think they've got some. They feel they probably have some assets that maybe they can, pick up a contract from someone that for a pick or for a prospect that can help them. If they feel they can, they will. Craig Conroy, I'm a big fan of Craig Conroy, and I really think that he's done his diligence. He'll continue to do his diligence on things, and just because the word is out there that they probably are looking for someone, he is not going into rushing into anything unless he believes that this is going to be the fit, just not to what's going on the ice, but the fit in the locker room moving forward. And when he feels it's there, they'll do it. But I don't think that there's going to be any rush to do it unless something's going to come out of the blue on them. But they're obviously looking at look where there's smoke, right? The old saying goes. So I believe they will try and continue to do something. And I'm happy for some of those guys like Blake Coleman, those guys, and Mackenzie Weegar. Those guys are good hockey players, and they came to Calgary and re-signed or signed in Calgary to feel that they've got a chance to make some noise. And yes, it might not happen this year or overnight, but I'm happy for guys like that and the rest of the group. Good for them.
Me too. Rich, we are only 2 weeks into the season, so there's overreactions everywhere, but that's what we do. So what are your surprises 2 weeks in?
The top teams, some of them struggling. I'm not surprised at Toronto with their inconsistent ways. They'll figure it out. They're too good a group. Again, with Edmonton, that's a big surprise. Where is this going, right? It's crazy. But you got to believe they're going to figure it out, but it's not happening yet. And I don't see a lot of desperation in their game. I see a lot of undiscipline, particularly from some of their big guys. Leon Draisaitl can't take bad penalties every night, and that has been consistent and it's cost them. Yes, they're not getting goaltending at times, but they also are getting goaltending at times. They're simply their specialty teams is lacking.
The one for me is Nashville, and for whatever reason, Boston struggled out of the gate, but Nashville blew them out last night 4-0. They're not a top team, but they were a playoff team last year. What's your thoughts on Nashville's start, who finally won last night?
I believe, Rod, it's just there's a lot of good players put in that lineup. It's going to take time playing with new guys. I saw signs of it definitely against Edmonton, even though it was sporadic. Much better last night. But it comes down to two. They got to get some saves. Saros has not been good. If you're going to be a top-flight goaltender, some nights you are going to be left alone. You're going to be looked at to make some saves. But it also starts with their defense having to clean up on their own a little bit and around the net. But at the end of the day, too many soft goals also.
Well, you talk about goaltending and Pittsburgh. You played there, right? Didn't you, for a little while? They love their team, but they put pressure on their team. Do you think if they got a goalie that they could be a contending team? Because Tristan Jarry, I don't think is it.
If they're good goaltending, they're a playoff team in my mind. But Nedeljkovic has got to settle down, and look, he gave him a chance last night. And when you have that bit of a run and gun type of team, your goaltender has to make some saves and have to have confidence. But like Sydney said too, like we have to be more responsible around him, and that's also true.
What did you, obviously, I'm sure you watched that game. It was a busy night with 16 games, but what did you see out of the Penguins? I mean, like you say, they got everything, but in goal, I think.
Inconsistent play, again. Like a lot of these teams that should be better, records should be better, inconsistency from a lot of guys. But at the end of the day, Rod, it's a tough league. You know that. It's hard to win. If you're not on top of your game on any night, you are going to struggle to win games and get points. Bottom line, it's the parity in this league is so strong.
We talk about surprises. Here's one that's not. The Winnipeg Jets 6-0. That did not even make me flinch or raise an eyebrow. They're a great team. We all know that. They do this every year. What are you seeing out of Winnipeg?
I see a lot of what the other good teams are not doing. That's getting productivity up and down their lineup. That's getting goaltending. That's getting solid structure play, and everyone seems to be in a good mood there. And again, that just bodes well in terms of their confidence as a group. And they got guys that are getting opportunities and they're taking advantage of it.
How did you feel about Frozen Frenzy? I'll be honest, I enjoyed it. I was at the Florida-Minnesota game, which Paul Maurice gets his big extension. And then they get blown out 5-1 by the Wild. But I came home and I really enjoyed the coverage on ESPN2, the whip-around coverage they called it. Did you think it was an overload, too many games, or did you like what they did on Tuesday?
I like it. The only I didn't like about it, you got to go to Sportsnet or TSN or whatever to get all the game highlights from each game instead of getting miniature packs of every game because they don't have enough time to cover all the games. That's only my. But you know what? Again, as a hockey fan, no short of trying to catch games on TV last night.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it every day, and we couldn't do it every day, but it was good for one day.
No.
For sure. Mandy in Edmonton writes in, she says, Rod, please ask Rich how he is doing generally besides hockey. That's from Mandy in Edmonton.
Doing okay. I still want to get back in the game. I still feel I'm young enough and healthy enough. I have a lot to give with my experience to an organization in any capacity. I very much still want to do that. I've got some irons in the fire in terms of reaching out to people and talking to people. I know nothing's going to happen overnight, and maybe even not even this year. But the bottom line is, if I don't keep people's with them in my mind in terms that I am here, it ain't going to happen. So, do I still want to do it? Absolutely, I do. In the meantime, enjoying family time and doing as much charity work as I possibly can, which is important to me.
Seem very busy to me for sure. Rich, I appreciate this time today. Enjoy the hockey and don't be a stranger.
Thanks, Rod. Good checking in with you. Hopefully we can do it soon.
Absolutely. Member of Hockey's First Family, Rich Sutter. We do have a bed for you down here, Richie, too, by the way. You know how great it is in South Florida.